Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my podcast and my YouTube channel, the Big Balla Brands Podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in from wherever you are in the world, new listeners, returning listeners. Thank you guys so much for always tuning into my channel. I appreciate it. And for listening on my other platforms, really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Another beautiful day, right? Every day is a new day. Every day is a new day. Wow. We are now in March. We're in March of the year, and time is ticking every single day. There's life happening. Things move very fast day to day. So whatever you're working on, just keep doing it every day, even if it's a little bit. Those things compound over time. Think about it. You have 12 months every year, but it also means if you break it down, you have different seasons, right? You have first quarter, second, third, fourth quarter. And look at it this way. Every year you have 52 weeks. It's 52 chances to do something every week. So whatever it is you're working on, keep moving, keep progressing consistently. Just keep showing up no matter what. Because a year when you're doing that goes by so fast. So I want to talk to you guys about something when it comes to jobs. I do, and I have seen many times on job boards online, you see the salary if you're looking for work, if you're out of college or in a job transition or looking to get your feet wet in some new way. And a lot of times, I think that people look at the salary, right? 40,000, 50,000, 80,000, or maybe like 100,000 or 90,000, whatever the number is. And you're like, man, that sounds great. Good pay, I'll be all right, et cetera, et cetera. But how many times do people look at the number and say, that's gross? That's the gross, right? Or gross, however you say it. Gross, that's the gross number. But what is net? What am I actually taking home after taxes? After Social Security, after the government basically dips its hands into it and takes what it's going to. And here's the other thing to that. The reason that happens is because the government knows you're more than likely not going to budget that. Because most people, if they do budgeting, they account for a lot of things in life, but maybe the taxes and everything is not part of that. So that comes out automatically. That is taken from you, right? So when you see a number, the way you have to really look at it, the way I would encourage you to look at it, is look at what is the yearly pay and break that down what you make per month. But what is the gross versus the net? And then when you have the net, it's okay, what goes to living? What goes to utilities, groceries, gas, insurance, medical, all these different things, right? Entertainment, if you're saving for travel. So typically when you're in a 9 to 5, you first have, let's say you look at your paycheck. The first thing that comes out is the government takes, right? And then second, typically is your living expenses. And then it's your lifestyle. And then you might have for savings or retirement or investing. That's the usual probably way most people look at it. Whereas if you change that structure a little bit, you get the paycheck coming in, government takes what it is going to take, and then pay yourself. Pay yourself, whether that's saving a little bit, investing into a container for tax reasons, and then it's your living, and then it's your lifestyle. But see, most people don't do that. They do government, they get the taxes come out, and then it's living, and then it's lifestyle, and then maybe it's savings and retirement. So when you're going to pay yourself, you have to remember to pay yourself first. Because at the same time, look at if you're doing 9 to 5 or whatever the hourly structure is for you day to day, break down the hours, and it's typically 8 hours a day for everybody, right? You have your 40-hour work week, so that's 88. It's 8 hours a day. In those 8 hours, break down hourly who's getting paid when. The first X amount of hours is clearly for the government, then it's for you, and it's all these other things. So you have to break down the math and understand, okay, even if I'm working 40 hours a week, this is why you look at the gross versus the net. And you have to understand the math, the numbers behind every hour that you're working, what goes where. What are those hours actually working for you? And okay, if you're working those hours, why not work for your future then? Why not maximize your 401k or your Roth or something that's going to be there for your future? Whereas a lot of people don't do that. They just get paid and the paycheck comes in. I got to pay my bills. And yes, you might have some credit card debt, some car loans, student loans, all these things. I understand that. So you have to look at what the paycheck is total number is and then break that down accordingly. What goes where? What is that dollar doing for you? What is that every hour of work doing for you? And I want to be honest and realistic. For me, the idea of what the word job is just over broke. Because really think about it. When you're working and you have a job and it says, okay, this is your salary, even if it's starting off, how much of that covers your living completely? And then when you have left over to enjoy life, your lifestyle, right? Excuse me. Those are things you have to be aware of. Those are things you have to pay attention to. And I know everyone starts that way. Everyone who's started in life, has great careers or business or whatever, everyone starts having that job. But for most people, I feel like a job is just enough to keep you from being totally broke. And you're like, what else is left over? Well, I want to go and have fun and enjoy life. But sometimes it's a very slim, thin margin. It's very small. You don't have a lot. So then what about emergencies or things like that? That's why you got to pay yourself first. You have to structure this whole thing to where you have the dollars working in your favor to take care of those things. Can be, again, savings, retirement, things like that. So it's just things to be aware of, because normally I feel like people look at a salary and if it's a big number, you think, man, I made it. If you're an engineer or something, you're making over 100,000 a year, 120, 150, whatever. You're like, damn, I'm solid. That's great living and everything like that. Whereas nowadays, 100,000 does not go very far, or it seems like it can go far. But when you look at what comes out after your actual paycheck comes in, and after your living costs and every little thing that you spend on, which is why you got to track those numbers, it's like, damn, how much am I really making? What's actually coming into my pocket for me? So again, things to always just notice and recognize and pick up on, because we don't always do that. And I get it that you don't learn these things. You don't learn this in school. No one probably taught you how to do this. You can read all the books you want to, but maybe something isn't clicking. But that is a job. A job is putting a salary in front of you. You got to do all these things, and breaking down what it actually brings to your living every month. It's, oh, this is my month to month now. So then when you start looking at it that way, you're like, hang on, can I really afford to go buy that new car? Can I really afford that house right now? Can I really afford to do all these things? Which is why realistically, you have to keep your cost of living very minimal for a little while. It's not going to be like that forever. But based on the circumstance and situation of you slowly building your career, learning more skills along the way, you have to start with that. Start the baseline, then you work your way up. The more minimal you can live with, and then you secure more for your financial future, is the important part. So again, it's like, just pay attention to that. And I know sometimes it's, oh my God, I don't want to see that number, or I just want the paycheck to hit my account. And then it's like, the next thing you know, you go on your swipe or you're spending it, whatever. But that's also the things that keep you from growing wealth and just being broke and stuck in that same cycle, right? Versus live below your means as much as you can, track everything. I personally don't budget. I think it's very constricting. I think the idea of a budget, I know for many it's a useful tool. There's many opinions about it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't budget or don't ever do a budget. Budgets can work for people, but I'm saying use a system that works for you. And for me, normally what I will do is I will spend accordingly to what I need every month. And then I would also look at that expense, and I will be like, okay, this is where this went, this is where this went, this is where this went. So I do a track and plan method in a way. Because for me, a budget, again, it's like the idea of, it keeps me like I feel in a box, like I'm constricted, I'm suffocating. You have limits. If you hit these limits, then if you go past the limits, maybe you feel a little shamed or guilty or, oh my God. So I just don't like the idea of budgeting in that sense. In some instances, a budget is useful. Businesses need budgets. They need to have set amount for departments, things like that. And I've been in those environments where I have to kind of help create a budget for things. But when it's your life, it works a little bit differently. So just don't be so honed in on, if I don't have a budget as a tool, then I'm going to be all over the place. Not necessarily. You have to find that method that works for you. Find what it is, make it work for you. It is a tool. It's helping you create freedom down the road. And again, when it comes to this too, it's like looking at things every quarter. You have to let the weeks or the months go by until you see the adjustments happen. It's like if you have a credit card and you put a lump sum to the balance, your bank may not calculate the new payments right away. It may take a little bit of time. It may give you 2 or 3 months where you don't have a payment or minimum payment because the system is recalculating. It's recalculating itself. So like you have to give those things a little bit of time, see what happens in 2 to 3 months and see, okay, this is an average of what these expenses are. This is what this costs me. This is where I'm spending. This is where I'm leaking. What is this really doing? Do I need the subscription? All these little things play a factor because again, when you have a job and you're working 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, what are those hours for? What are you spending? What are those dollars doing for you? And if you're just doing the, hey, taxes, then living, then lifestyle and savings, switch it. Pay yourself first. The government took its cut. Now it's time for you to take your cut and then apply it to living and lifestyle and whatever else, right? So there's a framework for it. There's a structure way to do it for yourself. And again, it doesn't mean you're trying to be cheap. It's not about being cheap. I don't look at it when I'm trying to, I look at it as like, I'm just trying to save $1, not spend when I don't have to. For example, I took a trip in December. I came back and I was like, from the airport to my place would have been maybe $45. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do public transportation. Found that there was a bus route and I took it for like $1.25. It's not about being cheap. I like the adventure and I saved hella money. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to spend more than I need to. Even with some of my utilities, I'm like, I cut my internet in half. I now buy one plan for the whole year for my phone bill, right? Not giving more than I need to. Because there's other services out there. There's other ways you can save a little bit of money when you can. Money that stays in your pocket. Money you can go put to work for you somehow. So, hope this was helpful for you guys. Again, it's things to just monitor in your life. Look at the numbers every month. You don't have to be overly obsessed with it. But it's just being money smart. This is your finances. This is money coming to you, right? Make it work for you. You've already worked for it. You've put in 40 hours a week, maybe more for it. It's time to make it work for you in the right way. Anyways, as always, please subscribe to my channel. Tune into my other platforms. I'm on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcast. Same name, Big Bala Brands. I come up and show up every week, as you guys can see. New videos, new things all the time. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you have any comments, please leave them below. Or if you're listening on the other platforms, leave a review. If there's anything else you would like to learn about or hear about, always here for it. Till next time, guys, have a good rest of your week. Bala out.